Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instruction on completing the task at hand. Visit my YouTube channel and watch my disclaimer video. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you find the information you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. In this next video, I'm going to install an antenna switch on this Volvo S70. I've done the same thing for 850 sedans. A lot of times these antennas go up and down every time the radio's powered on, so the masts break and the antennas get broke going through car washes and stuff like that. This way it'll have a switch on it and you won't have to worry about it wearing out. Okay, to install this antenna switch, you need an antenna switch and the pigtail on the back of it. Probably get about 6 inches of that. If you got an S70, you want to get a switch from a fog light switch and the wires behind it. They need to have 4 wires coming out the back. A razor blade, something to trim your wire, get some wire to run, little screwdriver to get the light out, things to cut the wire, and then you can get that ohm meter so that you can test the light bulb. And then get yourself a light bulb, make sure your light works. If you got any questions, go ahead and post them about the tool. Okay, when I was in the junkyard, I got the rear fog light switch because it's an off and on switch. It doesn't toggle. And you notice the rear one because it points straight to the back. The front ones slant the lines down toward the corner of the switch. I also went out of a 960 and took a switch out of it, and I didn't want to buy the switch, so I pried this antenna symbol out of the 960 switch, and I'm going to replace it in here on this this switch here on this S70. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my utility screwdriver or razor and pry this out of here and glue this one into here. Hopefully it's still got some sticky tape on it. Okay, I got the antenna symbol in there. I thought they were perfect matches, but they're close. Anyway, I'm going to decide where I'm going to put the switch. And this side, all of the switch spots are full. You got the tracks, sunroof, info switch, rear defrost, and the mirror defrost. So over on this side, I have 3 blanks. And I'm going to put that antenna switch right here so it's out of the way, because if I put the fogs, I'm going to put them right there. So I'm going to pull these 3 blanks with this utility screwdriver and see if there's any plugs behind them. Okay, the first blank had this wire harness back here. I believe that's for the fog lights. So I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to jump off of the lights for that one. And the next 2 were blank. So I'm going to put that antenna switch closer to the steering wheel and go from there. Next thing I do is pull the radio out, and you got to push in those 2 tabs. If you have a wooden shifter in, you want to cover that with a towel or something. The rubber ones normally don't get damaged. So I'm going to pull my radio out, but I'm not going to unplug it. I don't think that's necessary. So, since I'm running a single strand wire doubled up, I went on ahead and zip tied them. So I'm going to cut that little zip tie off, and I'm going to thread this through the dash. Now, I went and got some cable wire. I taped it to my wire and fed it from the radio side up over the steering wheel, and I actually pulled the little collar flap loose from the steering wheel so I could see and help feed it, and I got it over to where my switch is going to be. So now I'm going to take the tape off and I'm going to pull this wire back. You could also use a hanger to do that. Next, I'm going to clip that number 3 wire from that harness, and I'm going to splice in this. You could use a little wire stripper or whatever kind of connections you want, and just cut this wire, connect that there, connect that there. Now, I like to use these little telephone splicers. This is for a 19 to 26 gauge, which is pretty thin wire. This wire here, I think is 16, so I'll have to strip it down some to make sure they fit in there. But whatever kind of wire ties you decide to use is fine. It's up to you. Now, I poke the wire in there as far as it'll go, and then you just squeeze the plug down on these, and they secure your electrical connection in there. And I got these from Home Depot in the phone repair section. But like I said, you could use whatever kind of splices you want. And now I'm going to go over here and hook this other wire up to the back of the wiring harness that I got out of the other car. Okay, now when you're hooking up the switch part of the equation in here, if you look down in the barrel of the switch, this switch is numbered in there. The one with the 3 prongs is 1, 3, and 5. The one with the 2 prongs is 2, 4, and the blank is 6. Well, that corresponds with your pigtail wiring harness. You got a 1, 3, and 5 here, and you got a 2, 4, and 6 here. The number 2 on this side and the number 5 on this side connect to the lighting. So this black-brown wire and this black wire, I'm going to splice into the lighting from the next switch, and then the 4 and the number 3, I'm going to hook up to the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and strip a little wire off of these for my connectors and go ahead and wire those in. Okay, from the pigtail, I got the red and the red-black going back to the radio, those 2 blue wires I'm using. And then this, the 2 wires that I believe is for my light, my black and my brown-black. I got this plug next to it that is a blank, which I believe is the fog light switch. So I'm going to cut this number 2 wire over here because I believe number 2 is for the light and number 5 is for the... Now anytime I make these splices, I make sure I leave myself enough rope so I don't hang myself. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this wire back about 2 inches from the back of the pigtail. So if I have to cut it again, I'll have some more slack in it. These little phone connectors I have, they have 3 barrels in them, so I could actually feed 3 wires down there. So when I cut this, these 2 wires for the lights from this fog light switch plug, I'll be able to put both sides of it in there, and then the one side to my light for my new switch. Okay, so I got 2 splices there. I got those 2 blue wires spliced there, and then I got 2 more of these splices here for the light. Now when I ran that splice for the lights, I ran the wires back behind the bracket so that I get those switches to go back in there and not have wires over the post so the switch wouldn't fit. So I should have lights to my new switch, and I should have the ability to pull that antenna up and down with the switch. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the switch in, push those blanks back in, and go from there. Now before I put this switch in, I'm going to make sure that it has a good light bulb in it. So I'm going to test the light bulb, put the light bulb in there, then I'm going to plug in the switch. Next, I take my light bulb out of the switch and I test it with the ohm meter. If it's no good, I'll buy bulbs from like Radio Shack. The part number from Radio Shack is 2721092, and then I'll replace it in this bulb holder, then install it in the switch. You can get these switch light bulbs from the Steeler, but last I checked they were like 18 bucks a piece, and I get 2 for $2 from like Radio Shack or something. So I got the bulb threaded in the holder. I'm going to go ahead and loop the wires around the way they're supposed to be and snip them and install it in the back of this switch. Okay, I got the wire threaded around the way it's supposed to be so that it gets contact over those ends. Now I'm going to go ahead and insert it in the back of this switch. Now I got the bulb in the switch. I'm going to go ahead and thread that stuff through there, lock the switch in place. Okay, so I got my switch in place. As you can see, it's the same color. I got my radio pushed back in, and I lock my side handles in. And when I hook up my battery, I'm going to go ahead and test the antenna and test the switch that I just installed. So I snapped this collar back in place, and you got to remember, these steering wheels, they telescope and tilt. So they go in and out, and they go up and down. So put it where you want it, and then lock it in place. I didn't hear the antenna motor go, so I'm going to flip the switch, see if that makes a difference. Now I hear the motor going up, so this switch does work. It's going all the way down and all the way back up. If you feel that this information was beneficial, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can also subscribe to my channel so that you can get notification of future videos that I post. Visit my channel. I have all types of do-it-yourself videos there. You can leave questions here and I'll try to respond to them as quick as possible. You can also visit my website at robertspinner.com. Thanks again for watching.